Ms. Watson, the President.
Hello, Francis. How are you?
Hello, Mr. President. I am actually doing very well.
Good. Well, you have a big fan in our great chief, right? Chief of Staff, Mark.
I did. I met him. It was a pleasure to meet him yesterday.
Nah, he's great. He was very successful. He was a great congressman, and then when you lead by 35 points, it's hard to get people out of there. But I tried very hard for 2 years, and we got him. He's done a fantastic job. I just wanted to thank you for everything. He told me you've been great, and look, this country is counting on it because it's very interesting. So I won Florida in a record number, Ohio in a record, Texas in a record, Alabama by 40 points, and I won everything but Georgia. And I won Georgia. I know that by a lot, and the people know it. And something happened there. I mean, something bad happened, and I hope you're doing that job because if you, I hope you're going back 2 years as opposed to just checking, one against the other, because that would just be sort of a signature check that didn't mean anything. But if you go back 2 years, and if you can get to Fulton, you're going to find things that are going to be unbelievable. The dishonesty that we've heard from them.
Right.
Just good sources, really
right.
Good sources. But Fulton is the mother lode, as the expression goes. Fulton County.
Right.
And,
well, Mr. President.
You don't want to say,
Right. I appreciate your comments, and I can assure you that our team and the GBI that we're only interested
right.
in the truth and finding finding the information that's based on the facts. And we've been working 12, 16-hour days, and
great.
We're working through it, and so I can assure you that. And I do appreciate you calling. I know that you're a very, very busy, very important man, and I'm very honored that you called. And and quite
so important what you're doing.
Quite frankly, I'm shocked, and that you would take time to do that. But I am very appreciative.
No, Mark asked me to do it. He thinks you're great, and it's just you have the most important job in the country right now, because if we win Georgia, first of all, if we win, you're going to have 2 wins. They're not going to win right now. They're down because the people of Georgia are so angry at what happened to me. They know I won by hundreds of thousands of votes. It wasn't close. And Alabama, where they go, because I won South Carolina in a record, Alabama in a record, Florida in a record. I won Florida by 600,000 or 700,000 votes. It's never happened before with a Republican. And with all the money they spent, you heard all about these guys going down spending a fortune. And we won Texas by a record. Texas was won by the biggest number ever. And it didn't. And Ohio, of course, you know about that. That was won by 9 points or something. And it's all of it. Iowa. And it never made sense. And they dropped ballots. They dropped all these ballots. Stacey Abrams, really, really terrible. Just a terrible thing. And I will say this: if and when, hopefully this will show, because if you go back 2 years or 4 years, you're going to see it's a totally different signature. But hopefully, I will. When the right answer comes out, you'll be praised. I don't know why. They made it so hard. They will be praised. People will say, "Great," because that's what it's about, that ability to check and to make it right. Because everyone knows it's wrong. There's just no way. They had people in Georgia, for instance, that won, and I was way ahead of them, and they won because of me. I pulled them, they call it coattails, right? And we pulled them across, and they say, "There's no way that I beat you by 15 points." I've had that we've had plenty of those calls too. So anyway, but whatever you can do, Francis, it would be, it's a great thing. It's an important thing for the country. So important. You have no idea, so important.
Well,
and I very much appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate your call, and I hope you and your family have a very healthy and happy Christmas. And and I certainly appreciate you and everything that you've done.
Well, and I appreciate it too, Francis. Do you think they'll be working after Christmas and keep it going fast? Because, we have that date of the 6th, which is a very important date.
Right,
And,
right. I know you've got that coming up, and I can assure you that you know I'm going to be working, and we're going to be working, and it's
Good.
I appreciate it, and you know our team's out there working. You know, we got pandemic.
Well, you thank them.
Yeah, we've got.
And I hear the Georgia. It's not the FBI, what was it? The GBI, right?
Right.
Okay, but I hear they're fantastic, and I hear I'm about 96% with them, so that's good. Okay. But say hello to those guys. Tell them I appreciate it very much. Let them all know.
I will certainly do that.
You just take care. Call anytime you need. If you need help, call me. But Mark has the number. But Mark appreciates it. But I wanted to call you. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, and you have a good evening.
Thanks, Francis. Take care. Have a good Christmas and everything. So long. Thanks, Francis.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Appreciate it. Bye.
So that was from some new reporting by the Wall Street Journal of a call Trump made to Georgia investigator Francis Watson in late December, before the call he made to Raffensperger asking him to find the 12,000 odd votes he needed to flip Georgia from Biden blue to Trump red. And this call is part of the evidence, I feel, to show that Donald Trump, in his capacity as president, was trying to interfere in the Georgia contest, basically trying to put various forms of pressure, whether it was threats to Raffensperger or flattery to Ms. Watson here, he was trying to find a way to get Georgia in his column. And so here you can see it. You got to explore this county. You have to look at these particular issues. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. And if you do that, you're going to find crazy stuff. And what he's essentially telling this lady, again, putting direct pressure on an investigator, trying to lead an investigator in his capacity as the president. The call opens saying, you have a call from the president, not Donald J. Trump, the man, the president, saying, like, look, you got to look here. You got to do this. You got to do that. And if you find something, you'll be praised. So this is, again, it's different from Raffensperger, who was basically threatened, saying, if you don't help me, I'm going to make sure you're primaried. I'm going to make sure Kemp is primaried. I'm going to bring the national Republican movement down upon you. Here it's like, oh, Miss Watson, you'll be such a hero if you uncover the truth. And here's how you do it. Again, this matters because it shows that Trump at least twice in one state made inappropriate phone calls to officials to try and flip the result to him. And it also matters, guys, and this is where it could get juicy, that he is currently being investigated. There's a grand jury investigation happening now in Georgia by Fannie Willis, a new district attorney there, saying, you know, we're exploring, did Trump do something illegal when he put pressure on Raffensperger? And this might be at the very least circumstantial evidence to prove that Donald Trump had an ongoing effort to, you know, interfere with the democracy of the citizens of Georgia. So stay tuned to this. We're going to keep covering it. But Donald Trump may not yet have faced the justice he deserves to face.